Hi, I'm Rebecca Reynolds, and I'm here to share with you today some tools that will help you reclaim your emotional superpowers. I'm out in nature on this amazing day. The wind is blowing and the sun is shining and the temperatures are perfect. But nature, even when it isn't the perfect temperature, is to me the epicenter of resiliency and offers so many ways that we can use its tools to empower ourselves. So feelings, it is said, are like clouds. They come and go, but emotions have their roots in a story, often a trauma related in our childhood that's unresolved. So let's talk about how we can get out of that wheelbarrow rut effect. And that is a term I use about how we respond the same way every time so that we get into a pattern where there's a rut, like the front wheel of the wheelbarrow. And after a while, if we keep going up this and down the same path, we can't seem to get that tire out of that trail. So what I like to use is what I call disruption. And disruption is short, powerful things that change the mood and help me redirect myself and help me redirect my children and the children I work with. And I like to use nature as one way of dealing with that. So let's take the pine cone, for example, and let's begin with the idea of the five senses. And this one actually allows you to use many senses. It's sight. Look at the geometry involved in this. It is also, I can feel the weight of this, and I can smell it as well. And trust me when I tell you, when you have tools around your house that are not the usual thing to go to, as everyone is sipping on their wine or eating something they would rather not eat, but to overcome their feelings, something like having a toolkit of natural items seems like it would be a lot more healing and empowering and also more disruptive. So just imagine, if you would, that when your children are arguing, you hand each one a pine cone. Imagine if you told them, just sit there and look at the pine cone silently for a while. So that's one of my first tools, is to use pine cones as a disruptive tool. So moving right along to hearing. If you listen carefully, you'll hear the sounds of birds and crickets and all kinds of bugs in the background. And that is one way that I disrupt a behavior, is to get near the waves or the birds or even the trees and the wind and allow myself to hear those sounds. Thank you. Beyond that, you can also use something like this tiny little singing bowl. And I love to place this in my own hand or children's hands. And the sound always uplifts me, and the feel of it in my hands is also very securing. So beyond this becomes the idea of taste. So nothing to me works as great as putting a Hershey Kiss into our mouths and just telling ourselves or the children, don't eat it completely, don't bite it, just let it melt into your mouth and notice the sensations. All of these sensations are a part of weighting some idea in your head. So weighting, giving it weight, almost like when we hold something like a stone, allows us to give extra intention to it, more focus, and then repeating it over and over again. That's what weights the lesson. That's what weights the idea of these tools working. Along with this, I have a piece of bark. And you can sit your back against a tree, but this touching the bark and the feel of it, having these tools around the house, or even just going out in nature and putting your back against a tree, it really makes you realize how powerful a tree is. What went into creating this robust and thick bark? And are we as thick-skinned as this tree? So we've covered now sight and sound, and we've covered taste and touch, but what about smell? So I have this beautiful lavender, and when you rub it against in your hand and you smell it and you place these little tiny seeds in a child's hand and let them rub their hands together, and they use the oils of their hand to create their own essential oils, that is a really powerful disruption and a really powerful tool for relaxation. So thank you for joining me, and I hope these tools of disruption and nature empower you as well. Have a great day.